Hello and welcome to the Red Zone, viewers. This week we're going to be looking at my top 10 Super Mario Bros. Games. No, don't go anywhere. I know, we've done this before, but this time it's different. No, really, it's different. First of all, I've played all the games in the series before, so there are no honorable mentions this time, and you may be surprised to find that the list changed in ways that you wouldn't have expected. Certainly some ways that I didn't expect anyways. Like last time, most of these titles would probably tie for second or third place, but I have tried to arrange them in some sort of ascending order of importance. You know what, number one is really the most important one. That's the one you've got to look out for. And also, we're going to condense this whole thing down into a single episode, probably a little bit longer than usual, but a single episode. No more three-parters. So let's get to it. Now, wait, just a minute there. It looks like I forgot to mention the criteria for this top 10 list. These top 10 Super Mario Bros. Games are only going to be platforming Mario games. So that means there won't be any Mario Karts, no Mario Parties, no Mario Sports, and no Mario RPGs or Paper Mario games. There, I said it. Now we can get on with the list. Coming in at number 10 is Super Mario Land 2 for the Nintendo Game Boy. Yep, I only just finally played this title recently, having previously been turned off by its predecessor, Super Mario Land. But Super Mario Land 2 plays completely differently, and it's better off for it. 6 golden coins is almost like a condensed version of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World, which is fairly impressive considering the limitations of the 8-bit monochrome Game Boy. The game features lots of wacky levels which are well designed and have some sort of, unique enemies, if you will. And lots of great interesting power-ups, especially the bunny ears. In fact, some of the levels seem like they were designed just for power-ups, because they're replayable, and you can just sort of run through them and grab power-ups as you need, which is rather intelligent for a portable title, something meant to be played on the go. Now, admittedly, some of the wackier enemies and some of the more interesting power-ups seem to be one-off specific just to Super Mario Land 2, but that doesn't make this any less of an enjoyable Super Mario Bros. Experience. Coming in at number 9 is Super Mario Bros. Lost Levels. The true successor to the original Super Mario Bros., this game plays more like an expansion. There are a few new power-ups like the Poison Mushroom, but for the most part assets come directly from its predecessor. The real draw to this game is its brutal difficulty setting, which will have you counting your losses not in lives, but in continues. Players who stick with this, however, will find that the game probably improves their overall ability and skills, but the real draw is getting a few friends around to play this one and laughing your butts off at all the ways you manage to get Mario killed. Things only get more hilarious as the levels get more difficult, and the ways in which you manage to get Mario killed just get more and more ridiculous. Coming in at number 8 is Super Mario Bros. Remember the first time you stomped a Goomba, grabbed a Super Mushroom, or kicked Bowser's butt? The original Super Mario Bros. Still has a warm place in my heart, despite its successor's frequent habits of getting better and better with each installment in the series. The original Super Mario Bros. May not have as many enemy types, level types, or power-ups, but its tight controls, well-designed levels, and just overall fun to play mean that it still has a really warm place in my heart, and it's still fun to play after all these years. Well, except for 8-3. Nuts to that level. Coming in at number 7 is Super Mario World. Considered by many to be the pinnacle of 2D Mario gaming and fostering a large community of ROM hacks, Super Mario World was the series' breakout title into the 16-bit console wars. This title gave us new items and power-ups, the ability to replay levels, the switch blocks, and of course, Yoshi. That's right. Who could resist seeing Mario ride around on his dinosaur pal? Continuing the series' tradition of tight controls and well-designed levels, Super Mario World really kicked things up a notch with the secret exits and the first implementation of a special world in the form of Star Road. If I have one gripe with this title, it's the decision to ditch the Super Leaf in favor of the Feather. I mean, the cape's okay I guess, but I always found it to be a little overpowered and kind of a pain to use if I'm honest. Speaking of Super Leaves, Super Mario 3D Land comes in at number 6 and marks the long-absent item's return to the series. 3D Land also marked the return of Super Mario Bros. 3's aesthetic styling which was brought wonderfully into the world of 3D and combined with puzzles from Super Mario 64 and the Galaxy series. A real joy to play. Some complained that the difficulty was too low, but considering this is a portable title, and considering the inclusion of a whole extra game's worth of special worlds, Super Mario 3D Land offers enough challenge and gameplay for any real fan of the series. The wait for return of another entry in the 3D Land series may have been a long one, but it was certainly worth it, as 3D Land shows off what can be done in the Super Mario Bros. Series when old ideas combine with new ones. Coming in at number 5 is Super Mario 64. This title is well known for being the first to bring the series into full-blown 3D and lay the groundwork for an entire generation of platformers to follow. You know what? We should be grateful for the groundwork it laid because it was just wonderful. This game did a great job of introducing an entirely new way to experience the Mario series while still retaining that classic Mario feel. Being able to roam through Peach's castle for the first time was a really interesting concept too, and made for a great overworld. The paintings allowed players a preview of what levels held for them, and having multiple stars meant players had different ways to make progress through the game, in their own way and time. It helps that the castle was a lot like a level in and of itself too, with its own pitfalls and secrets to find, like the cap switches. I remember the first time I found that wing cap, Mario was soaring through the clouds and I was on cloud 9. I mean, aside from the Super Leaf, this is probably my favorite flying power-up in the series, even if it did require a ton of invisible walls to prevent from breaking the game. Another great inclusion was the camera, which gave the player almost complete control over where they were looking to ensure they had the perfect viewing angle for making some of those tricky jumps. Coming in at number 4 is New Super Mario Bros. U. This game does a great job of taking classic Mario elements and updating and reapplying them in ways that really make them feel fresh again. If you weren't impressed with Mario's jump into 3D and were just looking for more of the 2D goodness that the series had been known for, then New Super Mario Bros. U is right up your alley. By replacing the propeller suit with the flying squirrel suit and moving the series into HD, New Super Mario Bros. U does what I feel New Super Mario Bros. Wii was trying to do by creating a true home console continuation of the 2D Mario goodness we all knew and loved. If you're a real fan of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World who just wants more of that old school 2D Mario platforming, you really couldn't ask for much more than New Super Mario Bros. U. Coming in at number 3 is New Super Mario Bros. 2. If you'd rather get your dose of new old Mario platforming goodness on the go, then New Super Mario Bros. 2 is the game for you. Clearly my favorite of all the New Super Mario Bros. Games, this one will see you flying around as Raccoon Mario. That's right, the Super Leaf, best power-up in Mario history, is back, and in a big way. New Super Mario Bros. 2 takes a combination of Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World gameplay and aesthetics, and combines them with updated graphics to create a gameplay experience which is simply joyous for Super Mario fans. While the game has been criticized as being a bit too easy, it should be remembered that this is a portable title, and the existence of the special world should create plenty of challenge for anyone looking for that extra tough Mario experience. Coming in at number 2 is Super Mario 3D World. This game is, in my opinion, the true spiritual successor to Super Mario 64 because it both excels at 3D gameplay and feels like a true Mario title. This game has all the right power-ups, locations, enemies, tight controls, and you know, it brings that run and jump basic gameplay back to the forefront, just like a Mario game should have. On top of this, 3D World, like 3D Land before it, does a great job of bringing the Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World aesthetics into great HD 3D graphics. And it borrows from Super Mario Bros. 2 the character select that's been absent for far too long. That means that we can again finally play as Princess Peach and, spoiler alert, later on, even Rosalina. Of course, one of the biggest draws to this title is the new Catsuit power-up, which allows you to climb walls and claw enemies. Sure, cats might look cute enough, but this power-up is really cool. I mean, in previous Mario titles, flying was the only way to surmount high walls, but what could be better than flying than climbing those walls? Add to this the ability to claw enemies and perform a mid-air dash, and I dare you to tell me that this isn't cool. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Super Mario Bros. 3 All-Star Edition. That's right, Super Mario Bros. 3 is my top favorite Super Mario Bros. Game of all time. But not just the classic 8-bit version you might be used to. No. We're talking about the 16-bit All-Star Edition. By taking everything that Super Mario Bros. 3 got right, the wonderful aesthetics, the tight controls, the interesting levels, new enemies, new power-ups, I mean, we're talking about Super Leaf here, and bringing it all into this wonderful world of 16-bit graphics, Super Mario Bros. 3 All-Star Edition created what is, for me, the ultimate Mario experience. I mean, yes, the 8-bit edition is great and all, but the 16-bit edition makes everything look so close to what I imagined the Mushroom Kingdom would look like as a child that for me it's just the ultimate experience. Add to this the ability to save and replay levels as you wish, well, replay worlds as you wish, and you've got a great game, especially considering how some of these worlds were so wonderful. I mean, we're talking about all the fun and joy of finding the first cloud heaven, and we're talking about the tower to the sky, we're talking about jumping across parabeetles, we're talking about the endless looping madness of 6-5, we're talking about the crazy fun of Pipe Maze. I mean, pretty much every level in World 7 was a joy for me. And let's not forget, Super Mario Bros. 3 is the game that created the formula for most 2D Mario games moving forward. And you know what? I'm really glad that it did, because in my opinion, this is a great formula. Not only do you have all the themed worlds and levels, not only do you have the Koopalings, but you also have all the cool bonus ideas, like the card match game in the Toad Match House. There was even the coin chip. And, yes, of course, I'm going to harp on it some more, there's the wonderful Super Leaf, the best power-up in all of Super Mario history, and this game had it in spades. So there you have it. Super Mario Bros. 3 All-Star Edition is my #1 top 10 all-time favorite Super Mario Bros. Experience. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this list, and hey, let me know what your favorite Mario title is. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends, and in the meantime, stay in the zone.